welcome to Beyond the Fourth Wall, an audio look at the visual arts in beautiful Denton, Texas, the home of happiness. And tonight, as always, we are broadcasting live from the historic Campus Theater in downtown Denton, and this is our big Christmas special. Don't you say, hi, Mike?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to our party.
The place is decked out, boughs of holly everywhere. I'm in my finest Christmas frock. Once again, I see the best dressed man in Denton hasn't let us down. I love the crushed red velour tuxedo jacket.
Thank you.
It's like Christmas special with Hugh Hefner.
This was actually handed down to me from my grandfather. He wore this
I can tell.
every Christmas.
See, I got dressed up.
I like it.
Dr. Huxtable has been calling me and wants his back, but he's not getting the sweater back.
Where do you buy a frock these days?
You would have to ask our Point Bank Black Box director. She seems to have the inside on the frock.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, we're having a little bit of fun tonight, and that's
a little bit.
That's because we are celebrating the annual Christmas party here at the Campus Theater for the Denton Community Theater and Campus Theater staff.
Some noise. There, now that's a party.
And we decided that we would love to share this with you, our listening audience, this year, and
because we're generous that way.
And make this our Christmas gift to you this year.
So Merry Christmas.
So we're gonna, I think throughout the night, we're gonna be interviewing some of the staff and getting some Christmas wishes and thoughts from them.
Well, I hope so, because I don't feel like talking much tonight.
I can tell. I can tell. You're giving me that glance every now and then, like, it's all up to you tonight, big guy. So here we are. Of course, we got Jake Laughlin, our producer from DentonRadio.com at the helm. Merry Christmas, Jake. Glad you're here with us tonight.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
And as I look around the room, I see Kyla Welch.
Yes.
And Julie Brinker.
Yes.
David Barrow, all the way here from DeKalb, Illinois. So glad you could make it for this show.
That's the same last name as yours.
Coincidentally, yes. And David happens to be my big brother. And
I see another member of the Welch family, Melanie.
Mel, as we say. And there's the lovely Carol Barrow over there. My lovely bride, another Barrow. This party's a little heavy in Barrows tonight.
We're outnumbered.
And Welches, that's right. It's a 3-3 tie. David, do we have Belches? Belches, I like that. Do we have a relative we could call in real quick to break the tie? And of course, we have Dennis Welch back there, and back behind Dennis, we have our good friend Christopher Redden, who's actually working tonight.
Wow, that's dedication.
It is. But we did give him some barbecue and have offered him a Christmas cocktail. So.
And later we're going to have presents.
We are. We're going to do
our famous white
elephant Christmas gift and a exchange, and I think we're going to have some winners this year. Right?
Now, what was the limit on how much we were supposed to spend for the white elephant present?
I'm hoping it was 0 because that's
good. I'm right in the ballpark.
Okay, great. Well, what do you think, Damon? I think we should get right off and start talking to some people.
I'm ready to talk to some folks.
I think we should start off just go around the room and start off with the lovely Julie Brinker here. Julie,
I know her.
Do you now?
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Julie, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Does she need to lean into that mic?
No. I can project.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
You're going to get in trouble in the end.
It's Christmas.
It's not just on the air that he's going to get in trouble.
So Julie, first off, what did you bring to the party tonight as far as with food and beverage this evening? What was your choice for tonight?
Well, Kyla and I together brought some white wine, and then I made a buffalo chicken dip, which was my first time to make this new recipe, and I made it for a party, so I think I'm very brave to do that. And then some habanero cheddar cheese, which all the guys have been talking about.
I want to know what your big Christmas plans are this year. What are you doing for the holidays?
My big Christmas plans are to go up to Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Muskogee.
Oh, do they have Christmas in Oklahoma?
Do they have Christmas in Oklahoma? Carrie Underwood is from 30 miles down the street from my hometown.
Did
Well-
she do the Sound of Music?
Yes.
And if that isn't a reason to celebrate Christmas, I don't know what is.
Didn't you grow up watching it then?
So you'll have a mess load of family there?
Some family. Some family. I don't have a mess load of family to begin with, but
Well, I've been to your mother's home in Muskogee for Christmas a couple times. You know what my favorite Brinker family tradition is?
oh, do tell.
What do you think?
I think it's the meat game.
It's the meat game.
Oh, do tell, do tell.
Julie, would you care to explain the meat
Well, it's
game?
rather like our white elephant gift exchange, except it's done with a Swiss Colony or Fiege's meat and cheese platter. And we all draw numbers, and then we get to pick what meat or cheese product we want from the bounteous platter. And people can steal.
Yeah.
And Damon usually ends up with
With a lot of meat and cheese to take
a
home.
very good compilation of meat and cheese.
Her family also wears paper hats at Christmas time.
Well, we spent some time in Nigeria and Jamaica in the British former colonies, and so we do the British cracker tradition. And yes, we do wear the paper crowns.
Well, Julie, thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
I didn't realize that the paper crowns was a Christmas tradition. That's something we do nearly all year long in my house.
You wear paper hats just
Absolutely,
every day?
just to watch television. It's
Of course.
it's one of our favorites there. Well, let's bring up another campus staffer here, Kyla Welch. Come join us here, Kyla.
And, I just realized we've never had Kyla on the show before. That is an oversight.
That's a shame.
Oh, no, it's not.
We are going to have you on the show.
I was on what show was it, Jake, that I came on to talk about Beaujolais?
You were on
Discover Denton. So,
Oh, good.
Well, not quite beyond the fourth wall, but not bad.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
bad.
It was. We talked about campus stuff, so that was all good.
Well, as everyone knows, the entire Welch family is involved in the theater, and I want to know what some of the Welch family Christmas traditions are.
Oh, we're very much a Christmas Eve fun. We do most
My
of
family too.
our Christmas stuff on Christmas Eve, and then we just try to recover on Christmas Day. Pretty much. That's kind of it. We do our big dinner and presents and all of that on Christmas Eve. So.
Do you open them at midnight and?
No, right after dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
So y'all cheat to the fullest extent. You,
Completely and absolutely. It all started when we were little, and it was presents from each other, and then Santa Claus would have things under the tree.
so Santa
Christmas
Claus
morning.
gifts wrapped or not wrapped?
Not wrapped.
They are right.
Yes, yes. I used to work with somebody who told me that they wrapped all of Santa's stuff, including every package of gum in a stocking, was individually wrapped. I said, "Are you crazy?"
I have relatives that do
I
that.
thought that was a little crazy, but that's a lot of wrapping.
So, any special Christmas wishes for the listeners out there?
Oh, I hope everybody has just a very, very merry
Me too.
Christmas and a happy whatever you celebrate. Whether you celebrate Christmas or Kwanzaa or you just hold it all for New Year's or whatever it is you do.
That's
And I
wonderful.
want some snow, more snow.
Snow's good.
No ice. I've had enough of ice.
You're not that big a star yet. Oh, you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really went the wrong way there. Well, Kyla, Merry Christmas, and
Yes.
thank you for all that you do here at the campus.
Oh,
And-
thank you.
And Julie, thank you too. We forgot to say that to you. Yes, you do.
Oh, yes, she does.
All right.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
We're booting you out. Merry
Okay.
Christmas. All right, we
next?
have a Welch up here, so we got to bring a Barrow to balance it out here.
Sure.
So I'm going to bring my brother up, David Barrow. Come up, David.
Yay!
So David's been down here all week making fun of us from Illinois with the way the ice shut everything down last week, and
We have snow in Illinois.
The real
yeah,
thing.
so I've heard.
Yeah, real snow.
So David, tell us a Barrow Christmas tradition.
Well, in our Barrow house, which is there are different. We do wrap all the Santa presents now, but it's all done in special Santa wrapping paper, so it all matches. So we know that it was actually from Santa. And it's,
And what a shame your lovely wife Sherry's not here to explain that tradition.
well, you know, if she's buying all the presents, I suppose she can wrap them any way she wants to.
It's okay because
Santa for children everywhere.
there's absolutely no way in heck that she's listening, so you can say anything you want to.
Or children.
Quit wrapping the presents.
So
Can I say that again? Quit wrapping the presents.
So I want to know, when you two were young boys growing up together, what was Christmas like in your house? Was there any fights over presents or?
We had a tradition the night before when
We did.
we would had to sleep in a double bed sometimes. Night before we'd have family in, you know, and
Sure.
they'd throw us in there, and we had a little game we called
Remember
the
this?
Nutcracker Suite. And I'll just leave that up to y'all to imagine what that little game was all about. But
Thank you.
and the game was initiated by Big Brother and convincing little brother that it's fun. It's really fun. I can remember that we would of course stay up and speculate on what we were going to get. And you remember the one year that we knew what we were going to get.
when they snuck the pool
When
table in,
They snuck the pool
Yeah,
table
I
in, and
remember
we
that.
knew we were going to get the pool table, but we were also very concerned that we didn't want to ruin our dad's surprise because we knew how hard he worked at surprising us. So we actually stood out on our balcony that night very quietly and watched at 2 o'clock in the morning as my dad had 6 guys help him bring the pool table in. And then the next morning I very carefully ran in and went, "It is a pool table!"
that was
And I think you hit me after that.
very convincing, Mikey.
So off Christmas just a little bit,
Right.
David. You spent a lot of time here in Denton over the last several months, and tell everybody why you've been doing that and what you're working on right now.
Well, I'm working on a documentary. It's called When We Were All Broncos. And it's really kind of the story. It's really about Denton, but it's also about our 1972 championship football team. And we were the.
you were on that team, right?
I was on that team. I was a very small guard, and fortunately, we had a lot of talent around me. So, we went further than any Denton team had ever gone in Denton high school history. That's going back to 1905, I think, is when they first started playing football. And anyway, it's kind of the story about. I'm part of a very small group, really, of people who remember public schools before desegregation and after desegregation. And so it's kind of the story of Denton going through that period leading up to it, and then just the wonderful people that we were surrounded with during that time that it made it special for us. And we were able to have this wonderful success playing football together. But more than that, it taught me the value of our public schools, and just that's where you learn about people. And so it's very dear to my heart, and we're going to premiere at the Thin Line Film Festival in
that's
February.
Right here at the campus theater.
Well, not the campus, actually. We're going to be, there's another venue, I
gonna
think.
be at one of
We
the
may
other
end up
venues.
at the campus.
Okay.
I don't know, but
I didn't realize they were still running.
they're still
that many
working on the
other
venue,
venues. Okay.
figure that out, but we're going to
Okay.
premiere there, and really excited about that. My son's the editor, and he was also the cinematographer for it. And so anyway, we're going to lock ourselves up for about 6 weeks when I get home and finish the edit. So we got a lot of work to do, and we may or may not have a Christmas. I don't know.
Hey, your son Brian, that's been the other treat for us, is that we've gotten to see a lot of Brian since this project has been going on. Tell us just a little bit about Brian. I'm really proud of what Brian does, and he does this for a living. What you're talking about.
Well, yeah, he's an independent filmmaker. He does a lot of things, actually. He colors films for other people. He edits and then gets behind the camera as well. And he went to the film school at Florida State University and got his film degree there. And then he and his 2 roommates packed up and headed for LA, and they've been out there ever since and been able to find work. And I don't have to send them a check every month, so I guess they're making it. And they'd be in tough shape if I had to send them a check every month. So, but he really loves what he's doing, and they're living the dream out there in LA and having a great time, and have done some great projects.
So when do you expect it to be done, edited?
We premiere February 12th.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll be done by February 12th. That's
And hopefully we'll get a chance to get you in another time and talk even a greater length.
Oh, I
about
hope
the
so.
film. Yeah,
That would be
for sure.
fun. We'll be starting. We just got the director of the film festival, and so we'll be starting to roll out some publicity in the newspaper and through the website, the Thin Line website, and you'll hear, I hope, a lot more about it in the coming weeks.
I hope so.
What's going on and when we'll be there. So.
David, one thing real quick before you go, we didn't touch on for this documentary. Also, there's another branch to this documentary as far as where the funds are going and what it's.
Oh, yeah,
what it's
thanks for reminding me.
accomplishing.
The way we have this set up is that as it's all been completely funded by the community. We've had some terrific donors step up. Bill Eller Ford, it's okay for me to mention some people?
I don't know, Jake, is it okay?
Sorry. Yeah.
Sure, it's okay.
The Denton Record Chronicle. But some, have been major sponsors and have stepped up and helped with it. And then we've had a tremendous support just from individuals who have everything from buying T-shirts to we're going to do a patio called it's the When We Were All Broncos patio. They're going to do with some brick pavers that are commemorating family and friends and people who are alums of Denton High School. And the way it's set up is the Denton Public School Foundation will be receiving 10% of everything up until we meet our production costs, and then they'll get everything after that toward a scholarship fund at Denton High School. And that's our goal, is to create something that hopefully will have some legs, and we'll be able to have some money going into that scholarship fund for deserving senior at Denton High School.
That's great. That's great.
But they've been wonderful. The Public School Foundation jumped right in on this, and I have to say something about the people at Denton High School, Dan Ford, the principal, and just the people have given us a tremendous amount of support. But the Denton's really wrapped their arms around this. Denton High School was the only high school in Denton for a long time.
Sure.
And there are a lot of Broncos out there, and they have really shown their support for this project and how much they love Denton and Denton High School. It's a great place, great school, great standards, and really proud of it.
Well, let's hear it from all the Broncos in the room tonight. Woo-hoo! Yeah.
Well, thanks. Good luck with the film, and like I said, can't wait to see it and hear more about it.
Well, thank you all for letting me talk a little
Thanks
bit about it.
for being here, brother.
And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And happy holidays. Happy whatever you're doing. Okay.
Love you, man.
You too.
So what do you think?
Well, let's see. We got it. Looks like we're down to a couple of
Well,
Welches.
we've never
out
had
there.
Melanie up before.
Well, I think it's high time we did.
I do too. Yay.
Miss Melanie Welch, or as we like to say,
That you say. That's just you.
when I say we, it's the royal we.
It's me. It's a thing between me and Mike. It just, if he sees me, that's what he says, and in that way, and it's always Mel. It's very loud and awesome.
We should mention that this is Kyla and Dennis's daughter, one of the other fabulous, famous Welches. So what are your Christmas plans?
Well, my mom pretty much outlined that. Yeah.
Surely you're going to do something away from the family.
Well, not real. I mean, I probably hang out with my fiance, Travis.
I was going to ask you to turn your left hand just a little bit. That's blinding me a little bit. With the reflection there on that finger.
Thank you. Yeah, well, his mom's coming into town the weekend before Christmas for a couple days, and she's gonna stay with us, and we'll have Christmas with her. That's about it,
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm pretty chill at Christmas. I don't like to do a huge big thing. Just hang out and see people.
Yeah. I'm the
So
same.
what about theater projects? Any theater projects on your horizon?
Oh gosh, not until this summer, when me and we'll be doing a road show, and then also my
Hey, what's Roadshow?
it is story theater for groups of children around town that we take it on tour around Denton. To bring this theater to kids who would otherwise not come to the theater, kids in home and like an orphanage type situation. What is it? Residential. There we go. I don't know I'm not very PC.
But it's Christmas. It's a time for orphans.
And oh my gosh, David.
One of my favorite Christmas phrases.
You know, like a little match girl.
And that was completely derailed.
God bless us everyone.
Exactly. Thank you, Tiny Tim.
And then we also.
Oh, but he will be.
Oh God. And also we bring it to daycares of children,
Right.
Around town. So, and we also we usually do a performance. We do them a lot at the public libraries, and then we do a performance. Sometimes they come to the library for us, and sometimes we go to them, the Denton State School.
Right.
So that's really awesome.
So you do like little sketches and things.
Yeah, we do. We tell stories and act them out, and we have children participate often, and they come up on stage with us and they help us act them out, and it's really fun. So, and we'll sing songs and just be silly.
Yeah.
So.
I love you, Mel, because you don't pronounce the T in often. I appreciate that very much.
Oh, well, that's just my Texan self coming out. I really
just your genius.
Then after Roadshow, there is another project.
Yes, and that is my father and I will be directing 2 one-acts together as kind of a double feature type thing for the Black Box Theater. And I will be directing one called A Need for Brussels Sprouts. And he will be directing the other, which is A Need for Less Expertise. They're both by Murray Shizgall. And Shizgall, Dad? Yeah. Okay. And together, they're called Twice Around the Park. So
you and your dad will be directing this together.
Yes, I will be directing one, and he'll be directing the other.
How is that to work with your dad? Because me and my dad couldn't even build a birdhouse together without making a fight. So.
Well, we haven't really done much so far since it's kind of in the future, and we just know we're gonna do it. But it's gonna be awesome. It's such an honor. Yeah, I've worked on shows that my dad has directed and such in tech capacities or assistant stage managing or whatever, and he's a joy to work with. He's just so easygoing and so smart. And
I agree.
His experience in theater is tantamount to any on-screen legend, or Broadway legend. I mean, just because I'm serious, Dad, don't laugh. Because even though he never made money off of it or, went professional, he's always crafted his art so well and so seriously, and he is, and so of course all these years he's developed such a brilliance, in theater, and I think it's amazing.
Brilliant as his face is red right now.
Is any of this that you're saying now coincidental at all to the fact that next week is Christmas? Is that?
No, because I didn't really even ask much for Christmas, I don't think. So, no, you can ask me or any of my friends, any of my theater friends, we all talk about how amazing my dad is, even when he's not around, I promise.
I think any of us that have had the privilege of seeing Dennis's work would agree with you.
Yeah.
Yay.
So it's an honor to get to work with him in any capacity, and the fact that he asked me to direct with him was incredible, and I was flattered. So.
Wow. Well, I think that's an amazing introduction for our next guest.
I do too. Mel, thank you so much for
Thank you.
for being here.
And Merry Christmas,
Merry
y'all.
Christmas
Merry
to you.
Christmas.
And Damon,
New Year, happy
That-
Hanukkah.
that brings us down to the legend himself.
I know. And after all of that, I can't wait to meet him.
Dennis Welch.
Wow.
Gee, what can I say after that? I mean,
Not much because we're running
she
short.
said everything, didn't she?
I think you just have to sit back and bask in it. That's
So, ooh, dead air makes
what
me
do you,
nervous.
what do you say to a legend?
What do you say? So, projects for you.
Yes.
I hear you'll be working with your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, did you hear about that? I'm looking forward to that. I do love working with her.
That's great.
You know, she's very conscientious and pays attention to detail. And she's also a sweetheart. But anyway, I'm happy to report that I have not seen any evidence of a war on Christmas or an attack on Christianity. We're having a great traditional Christmas party here at the campus.
Exactly.
So my Christmas wish is for everyone to just chill out.
Well said. Well said.
And it's okay to spell Christmas with an X. I don't care what anybody says.
I think there's a lot to be said for brevity.
I do too.
It's also an ancient symbol for
Yes.
Christ. So.
It is.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the opinions you are hearing are those of the individuals themselves, not of Denton Community Theater or the Campus Theater.
And I might just put Merry Xmas on the marquee tomorrow. No, I won't do that.
Happy Holidays works fine.
I've heard some people say that that's not even cool anymore either.
What?
Like, say happy holiday.
I don't know why.
Some people, it's not. You just have to say happy federal holiday.
I like Happy Holidays because it covers everything.
Yeah, when I was a child, that was very common to get a Christmas card or to see that in somebody's window. Happy Holidays. Nobody ever had a problem with it just until the last few years.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And you know what else you used to get in Christmas cards all the time that you don't anymore?
Money.
Movie passes. You just don't get movie passes anymore. And I think that's a sad Christmas tradition.
Yes, because you don't care what the card says. then.
No, didn't care who it was from. You knew which ones to open because you know who sent the movie passes every year. So, you know, you rushed to get to the mailbox first, didn't we? Didn't we, Davey?
I love gift cards and gift certificates of all kinds because even if I don't like them, they make wonderful re-gifts.
That's right.
Damon,
Yes.
I heard a rumor about you.
About me, a
Yeah,
rumor.
When you were a child, you used to sniff your Christmas gifts. Is that true?
What do you mean as a child? I still do. I always believed I could smell what I was getting. You know, because a book has a certain smell, and then cologne, and this one's socks.
You're a very strange man, Damon Watico.
This one's socks. Did you get used socks for Christmas?
No, but I know the smell of the socks I was. Yes, I do.
Right, you're the only person I ever knew that could smell elastic. That's incredible.
Could be socks, could be underwear, but I think it's socks.
You know, cologne, whatever.
Cologne. Well, yeah, that's it. So did your folks used to kind of disguise things with different scents so that you didn't know what it was going to be?
No, my dad would just shake his head. That weird kid. But we had an interesting Christmas tradition growing up. You know, my family's Polish, and that's on both sides. I'm doubly cursed. And one of the Christmas traditions was that they send the children out before the Christmas Eve dinner, and nobody eats until we see the children see the first star of the evening. So me and my cousins would be hanging out. Okay, there it is. We've had enough.
Cloudy.
Yeah, exactly.
They just didn't eat.
We didn't eat. That's right. No, we saw it every time, believe me.
Oh, I think that's a wonderful tradition. I like that. Well, folks, I think we're kind of winding down here on time here, and
And just to remind folks, this is the last show for this year. The next 2 weeks, we will be dark.
that's a theater term, by the way, for you
It sure
folks that
is.
don't know that.
Who but a theater person would listen to this?
We'll be back on January 8th. So until then, well, actually, it's not going to be dark this weekend because we
you
do
better-
have
that's
three
right.
more shows, three more showings of Miracle on 34th Street. Tickets are going very, very fast, so don't wait. Get your tickets. Don't want to miss this one. This is great community theater fair. We've got folks that have been on the stage multiple times, and we've got folks in this show that have never been on the stage before, and it's always fun to see that, especially with our Christmas show, to see new folks up on stage and see them break into this wonderful family that we call community theater. And so everybody come out and support your local actors and see Miracle on 34th Street this weekend at the campus.
Well, Mike, this year has been a real pleasure.
It has, Damon. Oh, let's not get misty.
No, Merry Christmas, folks. And come to see Miracle on 34th Street and listen to us when the new year begins.
And thanks so much for joining in with us here at our Christmas party and letting us share this with you this evening.